All right, let's get right into this. Today, we're diving deep into a gripping tale of survival, pulled straight from a first-hand journal account. This isn't just some story, it's a tactical breakdown of how a routine cave dive went horribly wrong, turning into a desperate fight against a creature that could turn you to stone with a single glance. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the ambush from below, then we'll get into the terrifying stone curse itself. After that, a mysterious shot changes everything, leading to a hard-won victory. And finally, we'll uncover the identity of the survivor who made it all possible, a woman named Sunny.
Our story kicks off with no warning at all. According to the journal, 1 second the party's just exploring this cavern, and the next, the whole floor just explodes upwards, and they are face to face with an absolute nightmare.
I mean, that line says it all, doesn't it? There was no buildup, no creepy feeling, no warning signs, just pure, unfiltered chaos. And everyday exploration instantly becomes a desperate fight for your life when a monster literally bursts out of the ground beneath your feet. So the party's first move? It's textbook, really. They see this huge 16-foot monster and immediately hit it with magic, shrinking it down to a much more manageable 6 feet. Smart, right? Well, that was a huge miscalculation, because as they were about to find out, this beast's real weapon had absolutely nothing to do with its size. You can just imagine the relief they must have felt. For a split second, the beast is smaller, maybe they think they have it contained, but that feeling didn't last, because that's when the creature unleashed its true power, and the whole fight just turned on its head. And here it is, the real horror of this thing: petrification. It's not a quick death. The journal describes it as this slow, agonizing process where the stone literally creeps up your body, from your feet and hands inward. Can you imagine that? Watching your friends, your comrades in arms, just stiffen and turn gray, frozen forever in their last moment of life? And this is where it all started to fall apart. It didn't matter how strong or skilled they were. Okazaki, mid-swing, gone. Roberto, the tough warrior, turned to stone. Calypso, the brilliant spellcaster, Talonor, the sharp-eyed archer. It just took one tiny mistake, one accidental glance, and they were out of the fight, permanently. So in just a matter of moments, almost half the party was gone. Not killed, but petrified. They were living statues. The few who were left were suddenly facing an enemy they had no idea how to fight. The situation was beyond desperate. When you were reading this journal and thinking, okay, this is it, this is how it ends, the story just takes this incredible turn. Right at the absolute moment of despair, when all hope seems lost, someone else shows up. You can practically feel the panic dripping from the pages of the journal. One of the survivors, Cedric, is just scrambling, looking for any way out of this nightmare. And this question is just hanging in the air. Was this the end? And it feels like the answer is about to be a definite, fatal yes. And then we get this line. So simple, but it changes everything. It's not some grand heroic entrance. It's just direct. A figure drops down from above, and in that one single action, the entire battle shifts. And with that one shouted command, the game is changed. That's the key. It's the critical piece of information the party was missing in the chaos. So simple, so direct, and it's delivered by this mysterious newcomer, who, by the way, is just armed with a slingshot. Now, armed with this vital new knowledge, the remaining heroes do not waste a single second. They completely seize the moment, building on the stranger's help to finally put an end to this thing's reign of terror. What happens next is just this incredible display of teamwork under the most extreme pressure you can imagine. The stranger's warning gives Thane the opening he needs to cast a blindness spell. That creates enough chaos for Roberto, who is already starting to turn to stone, to break free and deliver the final, brutal blow. And in the sudden, ringing silence after the fight, the best thing happens. The curse just fades away. The statues turn back into people, and then, almost immediately, the practical side of being an adventurer kicks in. They start harvesting the beast for valuable parts and claiming trophies from their kill. So, the danger's past, everyone's back in one piece, and now all eyes turn to the person who made it happen. Who is this woman? The one who showed up out of nowhere and knew exactly what they needed to do. So they follow their savior back to her camp, and she asks them for a password. And Calypso, probably a little annoyed, just dismisses her with, "Not for me, girl." It seems like a simple brush-off, but it turns out to be the exact right thing to say. And bam, that's the password.
What a reveal, right? It gives us our first real peek into the stranger's personality. She's clever, she's observant, and she's got a bit of a wry sense of humor. She introduces herself not with some grand speech, but with a simple, smart little test. Her name is Sunny.
So who is this Sunny? Well, she's not just some random ranger. Turns out she's a former soldier, haunted by a tragic past, who was actually hired to explore these very same caves. And here's the kicker, the most important part. She is the sole survivor of her own party's run-in with that exact same monster. She knew its weakness because she'd already watched it destroy everyone she came here with.
And that's where the journal account cuts off. The monster is dead, sure, but the story is obviously far from over. The party now has a new, incredibly experienced ally in Sunny, but they're also heading even deeper into the mountain. It really just leaves you wondering, what other horrors are waiting for them down there in the dark?